Hello everyone, I am Shanaya and today I'll be explaining the project that I have made in Skill Test 1. It is a student interview management system, the application that will be managed by the employees of the organization. They can add a student, schedule an interview for the student, and also maintain the placement status of the student. So, talking about the folder structure, first we have the config folder, which has a connection file. This folder typically contains any configuration files for the database, logging settings, etc. Files in this directory help in centralizing and organizing the application settings, making it easier to manage and update them. So the second one is the node modules. This directory contains all the third-party dependencies installed via npm. It is automatically generated and managed by the package manager and usually excluded from the version control, as I have done in here. So the next one is the .env file. This contains all the environment variables that are used in the application. It basically contains the sensitive information like API keys, database connection, etc. Then the env file is often used in conjunction with libraries like .env to load environment variables into the application's runtime environment, as I have done in here. So the next one is .git ignore. This file contains all the files and directories that should be ignored by Git version control. It helps keep the repository clean by excluding files like node modules and .env file and other any other generated files from being committed to the repository. Then I have the index file and the server.js file. These files typically serve as the entry points of the application. They maintain the server setup logic, such as initializing the express and defining routes, then starting the server, etc. So the index.js or server.js are actually acting as the main script that bootstraps the application and starts the server. Then we have the package.json file and packagelog.json file. The package.json is a metadata file that contains information about the project and its dependencies. It includes project metadata like name, version, description, scripts, dependencies, etc. And then we have package.log.json file, that is a lockable file automatically generated by npm to lock down the versions of dependencies installed in node modules. So it ensures that all developers working on the project use the same version of dependencies, promoting consistency and reproducibility. Then we have the major code, that major folder, that is the source folder, that is containing all the source code of the project. This directory typically contains all the source code of the application. Subdirectories are controllers, middlewares, models, routes, utils, and views. So controller is containing the logic for handling the HTTP requests, generating responses. So in this case, there are two types of controllers. Employee controller, that is handling all the requests for the employee, and the interview controller, that is handling all the requests related to interviews. Then we have middleware, where I have used JWT authorization, so that for the login and logout purposes of the employee. Then in models, these are basically containing the schemas, database schemas, as you see here. This is the employee schema, this is the interview schema, and this is the student schema. Then I have the routes. There are two routes that I have made for this project, that is employee routes and the interview routes. Employee routes is basically responsible for handling all the functionalities that are supposed to be done by the employee, and interview routes are just handling the views of the interviews. Then in utils, I have made an interview mail.js, that is sending an interview mail once the interview is scheduled by the employee. Then there are certain views that I have made for this project. So that was all for the project. Thank you.